I guess I don't know. Whatever I said last time, we'll just cut it back in here. Cut it back. Wait for me to stop stuttering. We'll cut back in.
Zwick add extra stutters.
Don't. He'll do it.
I'm a scat man.
I guess I don't know. Whatever I guess I don't know. Whatever I guess I don't know. Whatever I
7825, code 6, 105 North Avenue, 52.
Prepare to be fucked by the long dick of the law.
This isn't happening. Everyone look away, please. Nothing to see here.
You can't break those cuffs.
You shot me in the dick.
Take him away, Toy.
Welcome to Thought Cops, the only podcast where every week we police the mean streets of the internet because, hey, somebody's got to do it. And then we let you be the judge, the jury, and the executioner, too, in the court of public opinion. Coming to you live from Neo, Chicago, I'm Officer Kevin.
And apparently I'm a cuckold. That's what I am this week. I'm a cuck. I'm a big, stupid fucking cuck. I'm wearing a robe, and I'm leaning on a dresser, and I'm eating Totino's pizza rolls and drinking Malort and playing Nintendo Switch because I'm a big, stupid fucking cuck. Is this what you want from me? Is this what you people want from me?
Allegedly, yes. This is the Grant and Sona of the week, the Cuck Grant.
Yeah.
It's like when Mario gets the fire flower and he turns into Fire Mario. You get the Cuckold flower. You turn into Cuck Grant.
Yeah. So thanks, Berries and Cream. She didn't even warn us this time. She just drew it and just put it up online.
We were messaging.
Oh,
she's like, I have an idea for something funny. Don't tell Grant.
Don't tell Grant. Thanks.
Yeah.
So anyway, check her out or whatever. I don't care. It's cool.
It's good stuff.
Insult me.
Let's give a quick thank you to our guest from last week, Alex Schultz of Be Nice to Me Productions. Thank you, Alex, for coming back on the program. You love to see it. You love to hear it. We got a brand new member of the Thought Cops family. That's right. We got LowRes Wünderbred. What's up, LowRes?
What is up, Kevin and Cuckold? What is that your name?
Yeah, Officer Cuck.
Officer Cuck. It's very nice to meet the two of you, gentlemen.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Likewise, sir. Likewise. LowRes, you are not just a content creator, but you are a content king. You're putting out all different kinds of stuff. My first interaction with your content was your Facebook meme page.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That seems to be the only place where I'm really relevant, is where nobody visits, is Facebook. For some reason, my Facebook page is the most popular spot I have on the internet. People really seem to be gravitated to that. Twitter, I'm a nobody. Instagram, I'm okay at Instagram. YouTube, I don't have much faith in that anymore, so I've kind of distanced myself from that. But interesting, good to know.
Well, yeah, you got plenty of good YouTube content too. I was just Grant and I were just watching some of your videos last night.
Yeah.
In particular, one of my favorite ones that I got a chance to watch was the Super Metroid Let's Play.
Oh boy!
But just that sketch you had at the beginning was so good. And I feel like I'm kind of glad we had these two guests back to back. We had Alex from Be Nice to Me Productions, and then I feel like you guys kind of have a similar style.
It's called an aesthetic.
Yeah,
you spell it sideways and vertical.
You familiar with this lettering format?
I don't think so. I don't know.
It's
you got the spaces, and I'll do it. I'm typing it right now.
It's a whole meme thing. It's
HETIC and then you do one going.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Yes. Okay. Now that I've seen it, yes, of course.
Yeah, it's hard to describe with words.
It is. I don't know how to describe it with words.
But this is an
other than what I
audio
said.
medium, so for the listeners at home, you'll be confused. So,
or if you want to see it in real time, go to patreon.com/thoughtcops. Join the $5 tier. You can listen to this live as we're doing it, and you can see me typing out in the podcast chat channel as we're recording. So
go for it.
If you want to know what the fuck we're up to,
I mean, the best way to describe it, I think, is like every vaporwave song title is
yes
formed that way. So
yeah, it's a very vaporwave aesthetic.
Which I feel like in some way, like your videos do borrow a little bit of that vibe. Like not completely. It feels like a next leap forward in some kind of way of speaking.
Yeah, I love vaporwave. That's the majority of what I listen to. So I don't think it would be a stretch to say that the videos that I make might be like a visual companion or maybe inspired by that kind of style. No.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But even just like a lot of the stuff you do, even the Let's Play, something so simple as a Let's Play, you had a really cool style where the colors of the game were sort of like, I was trying to figure out how you did it. I assume it was like a green screen, but also you had the different colors of the game as they were playing kind of reflected on your body as you were like on screen playing the game.
Yeah, I get very like OCD about these types, which is why they take forever to come out. And I focus on things that like typically nobody would notice, like what you're talking about right now, to try and make it look as authentic as possible. I think with like the Let's Plays, gradually I kind of got the look of it the further I went with the episodes or whatever. But yeah, I try to toy with it. I try to make it look visually interesting, especially since I'm terrible at video games. If you watch any of those videos, I never make it past like the opening of the game. I'm just constantly falling off a fucking cliff and making a fool of myself. So I have to do something.
I think like at this point...
You can always make baby noises like PewDiePie does.
Oh, there you
go.
Consider that. And as I was scrolling through your channel again, I realized a couple of your videos I'd even seen maybe like even a couple of years ago. I want to say the Mark Maron retrospective was really good.
Yeah.
I really like that because it kind of delved into sort of the psyche of modern comedy. And I don't just mean like stand-up comedy. I mean all different kinds of content in comedy, whether that's like maybe stand-up or online, whatever work you do. But it's like just kind of how the personas have evolved. So we've kind of like moved away from this sort of imposter syndrome, kind of obsessed mentality and self-deprecating kind of stuff. But you could probably describe it better than I could.
Yeah, I mean, I think Mark Maron especially is a very interesting case where for a long time, I think he was inarguably the best podcaster around. And then he reached the peak that you could probably reach for that medium, at least at that time. And I think it inadvertently killed his show. Yeah. And he became like a more serious podcaster. He got away from the comedy of it all. I mean, not that it was a very funny podcast to begin with. He's talking
Thanks,
about
Obama.
Like,
yeah, thanks a lot.
He's talking about more, I guess, feelings and whatnot. And he's interviewing NPR hosts and obscure journalists. And it's just like, who's actually listening to this at this point? I think Joe Rogan has filled that spot. And, if Rogan winds up interviewing President Trump, we'll see what the trajectory would be from there. I don't think that's out of the question, especially since he's got like Robert Downey Jr. on his show as of this week, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah,
that is crazy. Damn.
It was a big surprise. I don't know. But I think those shows are so fundamentally different that it might not even be fair to compare the two.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it is different. I feel like maybe the first person to sort of pioneer this before even Joe Rogan's podcast sort of took off in the way that it did would probably be Howard Stern, because Stern was always very like comedically minded. And then after so long and like, he's been on the radio for 40 years at this point, like he started doing the more serious sit down interviews. Like, let me interview Oprah and like see what really makes her tick. Whereas before it's like, yeah, let's get Oprah on the Sibby and make her come. That's fun. Like it sort of changed with that. And you sort of see different different people sort of change their tonality in that regard. I don't think, not in my house.
Oh, I think it's just something you have to do with the times. You have to change your show, and sometimes that can be the right kind of change. Like if you watch Joe Rogan, maybe from 2009 or 2010, whenever he got started, very different show, I'm sure.
They were painful to watch. Like, they weren't good. It was just him hanging out with his buddies, like talking about jack shit, and like he's definitely refined the format a lot, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of those were just on Skype too. It was just like there was a fan going in the background. It was terrible.
The audio would just cut out. Like,
wow. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, do you guys feel like stand-up is maybe an antiquated medium now?
I have been thinking about that. Both Grant and I do stand up here in Chicago. And
not very often, but once in a while.
I mean, like, I do it kind of regularly.
You more so than me.
But I would say even still, I do feel like it's not as fun, and this is just me speaking, but it's not as fun to write jokes for stand-up as opposed to just like dumb shit you put on Twitter where it's like, can do like a parody song about shitting my pants and put it on Twitter. And there doesn't have to be like a punchline or a lead up or anything like that.
Right.
But
I also feel like the scope of it is just different. It's like, I could tweet out some dumb shit and have 1 million people see it, or I can go to this bar on like a Tuesday night and perform to a room of like 10 people, you know?
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, it's different than like Bill Burr doing like a sold out theater tour or something like that. But from my perspective of like the practice of being funny for an audience is like, I get something out of it, but it doesn't like drive me, you know, in the same way.
I think it has, I personally feel it's helped me on the show. I think that all these things kind of lend into each other, the podcast and writing and stand up and what all these different endeavors we do sort of help each other out.
It doesn't feel like an end goal for me, though.
No,
you know?
I'm not like primarily a stand-up comic. So in that sense, I guess I did for a while think that stand-up was kind of a way of the past, and then I didn't get back into it for a long time because I think a lot of the stuff that I liked for a while was not stand-up comedy. It was more high-concept stuff.
Like Rick and Morty?
Yeah, exactly. No.
All right.
But not to ramble on for the answer to the question, but I do think that even I don't watch a lot of stand-up specials anymore. Like the hour-long thing is almost like a little bit too long.
Yeah.
It overstays its welcome. Whereas I feel, I mean, some of the funniest people that I know are honestly a lot of the people that we've had here in person on the show, because we've had a lot of Chicago comedians we've met who will come through and do the podcast as well. And they are like absolutely hilarious, like in their own right. So in that sense, I think that there is a way to modernize stand-up, but in the mainstream of it, I do think it's a bit antiquated.
I think it's going to undergo a big change once Netflix runs out of money to borrow, because they seem to be like the big distributor for like they're giving specials to everybody.
Seriously.
So there is some kind of goal to strive for, where maybe you can financially make money and grow your audience at the moment. Once that stops, I think stand up. I don't want to say it's going to go to the way of the dinosaur, but
what happened to the dinosaurs? Just kidding.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
I'll just shut the fuck up.
I would say the majority of like more recent up and coming stand up comedians. I'm not talking about like the Bill Burr tier.
Yeah.
But someone like I don't know, Nick Mullen or Louis J. Gomez. These people you primarily know and find funny from their podcasts, not from their stand up comedy. Their stand up comedy oftentimes is inferior to them just riffing on a show.
I would agree.
Absolutely.
This is not to disparage the guy at all. I think he's extremely funny, but seeing Stavros Halkias live was very different from his persona on Cumtown.
Yeah.
It was still funny, but it did kind of like make me realize, I kind of just prefer the loose form comedy where it's just him and Just do that for an hour, you know?
I mean, I do got to say, though, seeing Nick Mullen do stand-up, like, listening to the podcast and thinking it's hilarious, and then seeing him do stand-up, it, like, has sort of made me realize that it's like, oh, fuck, this guy's just, like, too talented. He's so fucking, like... But I don't know, like, where it starts and where it begins, you know?
Yeah, no, I definitely feel you on that. I think that, I mean, that's personally why I try to hit all this I try to hit all this stuff from different avenues.
Yeah.
Whether it's, like I said, writing or Twitch streaming or podcasting or stand-up or whatever, because they all, like I said, do kind of lend into each other. But
right.
Yeah, in general, I do tend to prefer more conversational comedy.
Mm-hmm. And comedy in general is such a weird medium because I feel like, and I'm going to get real pretentious here, I feel like of any of the arts, I will call comedy an art here, there's more of an expiration date on comedy than there is many other things. So, I mean, nobody goes back and really listens to you don't re-listen to a podcast typically. Maybe if it winds up in like your YouTube feed and it just replays. For some reason, YouTube has been giving me the Joe Rogan Sargon of Akkad episode to play after every video. And I found myself watching this episode twice, and I feel pained by it as he's like drunk and rambling about Anita Sarkeesian. It's just like a wave of 2016 over and over.
Oh, God.
I fell asleep listening to, I think, the David Goggins Joe Rogan episode, and I woke up and the Sargon of Akkad episode was playing. Maybe it's, I don't know, maybe it's getting a bump up for some reason. Yeah. I don't know why.
What happened to that guy? Is he still on YouTube, Sargon? I know he was running for like prime minister.
For political office.
Yeah, he destroyed a political party or something. I don't know. Man. I would love to do that. Once I get big enough, I will eventually do that. I will tarnish a pre-existing small political party for my own gain, just like him. What a hero!
That's why we're all in this, doing comedy
to run for office.
Yeah, upend politics. But all that aside, LowRes, I did want to mention too. You got your own podcast, and a lot of your content is movie centric, but your podcast is just called Movies or / movies. How would you verbally say it?
I mean, who gives a shit? I mean, it's movies. I'm talking about movies every episode. The double dash there, the backslash is kind of newly added. I guess that's part of the title. It's just movies.
It's the aesthetic.
Is it like that old TV show Dot Hack? And it's like dot and there's just like the slashes.
Yes.
Yeah. That was my direct influence. You nailed it. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But I do, among all your Facebook and social media content, I do enjoy a lot of your takes on movies, or at least find them interesting. So that's kind of what kept me coming back.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
So you're a movie guy then? Or are you just, what would you say then is the best movie to have come out this past year?
I think it's actually something you were, I believe either today or yesterday, you made a comment about, but I think it probably for me was Parasite.
I had a feeling. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a very good movie. I will never argue that Parasite is a bad movie. Mm-hmm. But I don't appreciate how it's been co-opted by the American press or the Western press. But it's a great film.
I didn't like whatever politics you want to even read into it. I don't care. I don't know. It's just a really well-made movie, just from beginning to end, minute to minute.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What was yours?
Joker, of course. Joker is one of the best films ever made, in my opinion. I'm saying that sarcastically, but I also mean it deep down inside.
It's weird. It's such a meme movie. Like from the moment it was announced that it was going to be made up until people actually started seeing it, it's this weird thing where it's like, I hate the fucking weird drama surrounding it, but I like the movie, but I hate the movie, but I love the movie.
Yes.
Fucking, I can't wrap my head around it.
It's weird. Yeah.
So there's a culture surrounding this movie that's completely separate of the movie itself. And I had written a piece where I did like the 10 best films of 2019, and I cited Like, I understand where the people who are maybe turned off by that are coming from, because that's how I feel about Parasite. But I can't deny that Parasite is a great film. It's a very well-made film with great acting, great direction, cinematography, writing. But the culture that surrounds it is just, it's a little off-putting to me. I think Joker is that on a just like magnetized scale, where it means so many different things to different people. And really, that's not what the movie is about at all.
Yeah. Fuck. Mine would be Rise of Skywalker.
Oh, classic.
Yes.
The best of the series.
Yeah. Better than the other one.
The other one Star Wars movie.
Yeah. Well,
Why don't they just deviate? Like, enough of this trilogy nonsense. Why don't they just do a Star Wars 10 and then have it be that? Nobody has suggested that.
Yeah.
Or skip ahead. Just go to Star Wars 30 and fill them in whenever you want. Star Wars 23, Star Wars 61.
69.
Yeah, nice.
Funny number.
Can't wait for that one.
Yeah.
That would be, hey, that's got to be a comedy. Anyway, moving on. We got a little bit of housekeeping notes of ourselves here. Maybe you're listening to this on iTunes, and if you are, and you haven't left a review, go ahead and do it, because it helps us out. It helps us get a little bump. And we've said this before in the show, but if you leave a 5-star review, we'll go ahead and read it. So
iTunes is loading right now. I'm gonna read the review that I said that I was gonna read. I just gotta wait for it to load. It's gonna take 3 more minutes.
maybe this would be something fun that Zwick could cut out of the episode.
Yeah, it's a good idea. So this 5-star review comes to us from Boomer Technology, who says best podcast. Okay, let me just retake that. I don't want to fuck it up that bad.
Okay.
So this 5-star review comes to us from Boomer Technology, who says God damn it!
This MF said bed podcast.
Third time's a charm. So this podcast, God damn it, dude! Can you read this? No, let me. Okay, one more time.
No, man, it's on you.
So this 5-star.
I'm not gonna look at you.
Don't look at me. God damn it!
I'm not looking. Sorry, LowRes. This is.
Oh, I got all night.
This is a very professional endeavor. So this 5-star review comes to us from Boomer Technology, who says, best podcast in Chicago. Good stuff.
Wow.
Thank you, Boomer Technology.
Thank
for
you,
that
Boomer
exciting
Technology.
5-star review. If you have a 5-star review, like Kevin said, leave it on iTunes. We'll read it aloud.
And if you find out there's some other place you can leave us a perfect score review, go ahead and do it wherever you can find it. You know,
it helps.
There's such a kind community surrounding this show. I can't believe that. You know, I was reading through the Discord here, and I noticed you have an NSFW channel here, and I was like, ooh, okay, am I going to see something erotic in this part of the Discord? And I was just perpetually horrified by what people were posting.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I was getting very concerned. This was right before the show, and I felt my blood pressure was rising. I thought I saw a cat with human balls on its head. I can't imagine this is the kind of stuff that people want to see. I hope this isn't like equivalent to a dox. Like, this isn't like...
No. I mean, I'm looking at it right now. I mean, it's quick confession. I have this channel muted because I got sick of being at work and like having a cat with human balls pop up on my phone when I was at work. Or Muriel sucking Eustace's dick from Courage the Cowardly Dog. Or Meg from Family Guy farting in someone's face.
I'm very glad that I avoided those. I did see someone defecating their own testicles out, though, and then the testicles merging with the penis. That was very, maybe quite curious, you know?
This is worse than I thought. I didn't know that this was happening underneath my own nose. What the fuck, man?
It's Captain Toad with no pants and a very small penis. Anyway, good stuff. That's just sort of the reputation we want to kind of leave behind when we pass on one day. It's all there for the taking, folks.
Fuck.
So yeah, well, let's move right along to 2 Minutes of Hate. 2 Minutes of Hate is, of course, a very famous, very favorite segment on the show where we like to punish these ne'er-do-wells on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Reddit. And what's another website, Grant?
The Tumblr.
LowRes, YouTube.
Yes.
How about that? YouTube, they go off in those comments once in a while. So my 2 minutes of hate this week is this. Today is the only day you can retweet this. And it's these weirdos who screenshot things from different movies and TV shows. And I'm like, they must just have a folder of screenshots of movies where the date is shown in the future or whatever. And they're just like, oh, I cannot wait to post this for clout one day. Like some weirdo,
So you have a less problem with the setup and more just the work that goes into posting such a thing?
No, it's both, but
Okay.
the work that goes in, it's like when you really analyze it, it's quite strange. I know the biggest thing was the Back to the Future date. That was big. Remember when everybody's like, "Oh, the date to Back to the Future 2."
We all have to dress like this.
And then nobody could figure out when the actual date was. Remember that? There was it was posted. I think we talked about this really early on for Thought Cops, where it was just posted every month. It was like, today's Back to the Future 2 day. You can only retweet this today, and it's like
They did it 6 times.
Actually, this is the 7th time for me. But in general, I do tend to see a lot of these meme format posts on Twitter and the like. I'm trying to think of a more recent example I've seen.
One of the more recent ones, I think, is the movie Blade Runner.
Yes.
Yes.
Like, we all have to dress like Harrison Ford. Got to wear that dumb detective coat. Mm-hmm. This is how people dress now.
Yeah, I was in LA on
dressed like that?
Blade Runner Day. No, I was not,
okay.
because nobody was. None of that shit happened. It's bullshit, man.
You didn't did you pass by the Atari building?
No, I didn't pass by. They were building the large purple girl. Of course, that takes place in 2049, so they didn't have it yet, but they were building her.
Okay.
From the sequel.
Right.
I can't wait until 2049 so we can all wear that Bane coat that Ryan Gosling wears from 2049. That was great.
And
That's
the bandage
coat.
on the nose,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Oh, well, I already did that. You referenced that Let's Play. So
Yes. So my punishment for this is, all right, you like movies so much, you like dates so much, you get stuck in a Groundhog Day situation and you just have to repeat Blade Runner Day, but none of the Blade Runner stuff happens. Just an everyday, whatever day in 2019, whenever the day Blade Runner Day was, November something 2019.
Right.
And
right now, I'm picturing you creating your own alternative calendar of just wait 3 years from now. I'm gonna retweet the fucking Blade Runner thing. I'm gonna go onto this person's Twitter profile that they stopped using 3 years ago. I'm gonna go find the exact post and I'm gonna retweet it just to spite them. Fuck you.
That sounds like something I do.
Yeah.
That sounds like something I waste my time on.
Yeah.
Anyway, LowRes, what's bugging you? What do you want to get off your chest?
Well, I kind of discussed Joker earlier, and after these Academy Awards came, the nominations came out, a lot of people on film Twitter, I don't know if you're in tune to the film Twitter, but a lot of these people,
It seeps in.
yeah, they were very dismissive of that Todd Phillips director nomination. So that's quite a bit bothersome. And also, somebody was trying to cancel him today, and this is admittedly kind of a little weird. I won't defend this, but it's a movie. He was in, I think it was Old School, right? He directed that movie. Not Old School, sorry. Road Trip. Road Trip was the movie.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
And he directed that, he wrote that, and he also cast himself as some creep on a megabus or a Bolt bus who's trying to do some Quentin Tarantino-esque moves where he's raping some lady's foot with his mouth. And somebody posted this clip out of context and we're like, just remember, he directed this movie and cast himself in this role. And, maybe there's something to that, but just I can't really defend that, but
Yeah.
it's a film. It's a film. It's a movie.
Was it,
Someone's
was
gonna
it
play that
supposed to
role.
be funny though? I'm assuming that like
No,
I
it was
assuming it's a direct
it was a
parody.
straight up like irreversible style rape scene. It was really horrifying. Yeah.
yeah, that is a little bit weird, but
That's the type of stuff that flew in the 90s.
Yeah.
Just remember like this is the 80s, but the Revenge of the Nerds rape scene where it's just like, yeah, he rapes the girl and it's funny and she likes it, and it's like you can't.
Yeah.
You shouldn't put that in a movie, but that's just people just put that in movies, and it's like, yeah, this is acceptable.
those were the days.
That's the whole plot of the Porky series, isn't it? Right? Just spying on girls against their will, like cutting holes in the shower. Those are great.
They should have had a scene in The Joker where he sucked his mom's toes
Yeah.
in the bathtub. Come on, Mom, let me give you a bath, okay? I don't know why he sounds like Rick and Morty in that impression, but he did. Anyway, sorry, you were going on about you're going to get to some point though.
Yeah, it's just desperation on behalf of members of film Twitter to punish this man for directing a at the very least a serviceable film. And I have to come up with a punishment, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I would sentence these people to an annual viewing of The Hangover Part 2, which is essentially the same as The Hangover Part 1, but it takes place in Thailand. And then The Hangover Part 3, that is such a peculiar film. I was talking about this on my show recently with my co-host about how Todd Phillips decided to be like the dark Joker director around the time of this movie, where it's just like a weird straight-up crime drama. It's essentially Heat, but The Hangover.
Yeah, I never saw the third one.
Yeah, nobody did. So... very weird trajectory for that film series to go in. But I also just have like a little nag, I guess, since we were talking about Cumtown and Nick Mullen and Stavros Halkias. I don't have a punishment for this one. I just wanted to note it and throw it out there. Have you guys picked up on the fact that Nick Mullen voice has kind of been adopted on Twitter and parts of Facebook, where they will, like, people will essentially just do like Cumtown style jokes?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, that gets really, like, that really gets under my skin for some reason.
I see that with a lot of things. I think we've talked before in the show. I don't see it quite as much anymore, but it was for the couple years ago or the last couple years, I would see a lot of like Chapo voice.
Chapo voice really fucking gets to me.
Yeah, everyone on Twitter had to like everyone who was left leaning had to copy the exact cadence of how the Chapo guys talk on Twitter. It was just like so weird. And then you brought up Sam Hyde cadence. Like a lot of I feel the NPC thing got run into the ground, but the first time I heard that was I think one of the Hyde Wars videos where he was and it was like coming from this detached angle of like, this is obviously how a fucking crazy person would think, where he's like, but also, I mean, maybe he was kind of leaning into it a little bit. That's just a shtick where he's like, like you're the party character in your life, and all these guys who are wasting their time doing nothing, they're NPCs, they're slime enemies, and it was really funny. But I hate the fact that I just see so many people on Twitter going like, hey, calm down, my dude. And it's like, it just like, they're just co-opting this like, oh, I saw, like, there's just nothing weirder than someone so transparently acting like, I saw somebody else talk on the internet like this, so I'm going to copy them to get attention. Yeah. It's just like creepy.
I mean, especially as, I'll go ahead and say it, especially as artists.
Yes, thank you for saying it.
Like, as a person who creates things, you have a tendency to like pick up on certain things because you're obviously being influenced by a number of different things at all times. And
sure,
you see something you like and you want that to reflect in your work, but it's just like some things are, it's just like you have to internalize that and then reflect what you like about that out onto the world. You don't just repeat the words and the phraseology is not what makes that funny. It's the intent behind them, So like, when we were talking about Chapo and like people copying them on Twitter, anytime I see some left-leaning person say the word chud, I just like my skin fucking
God.
just like
I
crawls
hate
back.
that.
Like it's because it's funny and you get why they're saying it when they say it, and there's a meaning behind it, and obviously they popularized it to a certain extent. But like when you're just these fucking right-wing chuds, it's just like, do you even know what that means, or did you have to look it up? Like,
And if you ask them, they're like, someone's having a normal one.
fuck.
Oh God.
God damn it.
Yeah.
All right. I don't.
Did you have a punishment for these Cumtown copycats?
No, I mean, I don't really have one for that. That was just kind of off the top of my head.
We got a wheel here. We could spin the wheel. And
We do have a wheel. It's not very good. I think it's a work in progress, but
So-
let me try.
we're going to spin the wheel here and read off what it says. Let's see here.
Oh, gee whiz.
Choose your own pain.
Choose your...
What did that?
I don't know, mate.
That's a choose your. Okay.
This wheel is not exactly as helpful as we'd hoped, but...
That seems too generous. Let's spin again.
let's see.
Potpourri. Gotta spin again.
What the fuck? Why
We
is
have
there...
like 4 spaces that are just like, I don't know, you fucking do it. You know how you
All
created
right.
this wheel to make life easier? Well, fucking you come up with it. That's
Let's see.
smoke the whole pack.
Smoke the whole pack. Okay, that seems applicable. So in this scenario, would this be sort of you can only talk to people in Cumtown cadence?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're like, you're talking to your parents and you're like, yeah, what if dinner, but it was gay?
Or like you're at a job interview and you're like, yeah, what if there was like a fucking thick fat ass Asian chick, you know?
And then the guy you're interviewing with is like, and then you get the fucking job.
Okay, well,
I think
less
that's
of a
perfect.
punishment, but
Yeah,
I think it's
Yeah, it's a punishment in that it would get repetitive.
yeah.
So Grant, what do you have?
My 2 minutes of hate this week is just like dopamine.
Ooh,
It's just like
I love those hits.
but it doesn't like I don't feel anything anymore, you know?
Well,
Do you guys not feel anything anymore?
I go through
Big on
periods.
The ecstasy? The ecstasy will do that. That'll run it dry.
No, it's not. It's like from the internet. It's the internet dopamine. And just like constantly like having these drives to like just fulfill basic human fucking emotion and desire. And then you just realize that it does nothing. Like, you know, yeah, I want to feel a certain way. I want people to feel a certain way about me. I want to feel a certain way about people and interactions and things. And you get these drives and these little like tinkering noises in your head that's like, yeah, you check Facebook again. You got to see. No, there's nothing on there. Well, check it again. It's still not. Well, open Twitter now. And you got it, but it's just someone liked it. So just so go back to Facebook, and it's just like, what am I even? Why do I do this all the time? You know, it's just like there's nothing. I feel
We're addicted.
and it's just like, but you go through your regular life and you're like, well, this is boring. I'm going to go back to Twitter because at least people are bitching about like Elizabeth Warren or whatever. And that seems funny. So you go there and you're just like, but I don't derive any pleasure from this, you know?
Yeah.
And so you go back to real life and you're like, well, I'll go hang out with some people and I'll try and derive some pleasure from that. And you sit there and you just talk about things that you read on Twitter. You know, sometimes you make a podcast about it.
Yeah. I don't know how to talk to people anymore.
Yeah. You know what I've found out is that when I talk to people in real life, I just quote things that I read on the internet and people think that I'm really funny, but then I quote the same things like to you and you're like, shut the fuck up.
What the fuck? Do you have an example?
Yeah, right now.
Oh my god.
This is the example.
I don't think I'm that mean. I mean, surely sometimes, but
There was one episode like I don't know, 5 episodes ago or something where you said something and I just started talking and you were like, shut the I know what you're gonna say, shut the
God, I wish I could remember what it was.
I can't either.
Is that better or worse? You guys said you do stand-up.
Yeah.
I've known quite a few stand-ups in my day. Is that better or worse than talking to a stand-up comedian and you can tell that they're like doing their bit in the conversation to try and like make it more lively or make themselves interesting? Because I've encountered that quite a few times. Like, oh, you do this on stage, or you probably do this on stage, or I find out after the fact that you're not that interesting and you're just, going back to the well here for this conversation.
I would say people who are more seasoned don't do that as much, but the people I talk to who are really new at it, they're like, hey man, what's your name? And they're kind of like just like doing a bit where like, oh, comedians, we're so self-deprecating. And it's like, all right, man, relax. Like you get your 5 minutes in a little bit.
Yeah.
That is, I don't like that. But I think people, if you do it enough, you become in some ways overly self-aware. Where I think a lot of people who do it enough are just like, I don't want to go through life acting or seeming like I am being that person because I don't like that person.
See, here's, I think, where I sort of differentiate from that is that I don't seem to have an off switch. I talk and I act like this nonstop. And what you're talking about with like hating that person is I hate that person. Mm-hmm. I can't stop. Like if someone says something, I'm just like, I gotta make that joke. I can't not do it. I talk in a way that is strange most of the time. Everything is some sort of joke. I'm completely detached to any level of sincerity that might have existed at one point because everything's just like, well, it's just, I don't know. I'm just detached. It's this dopamine. I've ran dry the well and the enzyme in your brain that's supposed to like, attach itself to the dopamine. There's no more enzymes.
Yeah.
This is just it. This is the end.
Kind of just the world we live in now. And I wonder how further this can advance.
Tune in next week to find out.
Yeah. Will we still be here? I don't know. No, that was kind of dark, but we'll be here, folks. Don't worry. We got another guest planned, so we'll be here. We have to be here. So what's your punishment?
You have to do things that, if you have these dopamine addictions, I found the cure to this. This is a punishment and a cure. Is that you have to do things that you don't want to do that hurt you all the time.
Okay.
Yeah. So like, I signed up for an ultra marathon. I gotta go run an ultra marathon in March.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it. It's gonna hurt a lot. I'm just gonna do it. Why? Because it's gonna suck.
So what you're saying is kind of just get out of your comfort zone?
No, not get out of your, like, find things.
Just give yourself pain.
Give yourself pain, yeah.
Okay.
It's the opposite of hedonism. It's masochism.
So there's no growth to be had, just suffering?
Like, growth, you can grow in both directions, but yeah, you just embrace it. You just, you just fucking, you turn the shower all the way cold and you just scream.
Jesus. Is that how you wake up in the morning? You go to bed watching fight porn and then you wake up and scream on the cold water? I'll just say I'm not surprised if that is the case.
It's basically it. Yeah, you seek out things that make you feel.
And then you go through the rest of your day, like kind of just very neutral as you do. But before bed, in the morning, you just become this monster.
Yeah.
Good God. Anyway, let's move on that note. If you haven't listened to Thought Cops before, every week we investigate the internet's outrage-inducing news stories, and then we sentence each perpetrator to a cruel and quite often unusual punishment. So let's get right to it. Winter's here. Isn't that right? LowRes, you're out in New York now. Is that right?
Actually, I am back in Massachusetts, so it's even colder. I'm just here temporarily.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm living in New York nowadays, yeah.
That's what I thought, yeah. So you're getting this cold spell out there. You're feeling it. Nothing beats staying inside at this time of the year, getting the old microphone out and lighting a couple of candles. So Gwyneth Paltrow is releasing a candle.
What a great segue.
Very strange setup.
I know. I was like, I'm just talking.
It's winter in Massachusetts, and Gwyneth Paltrow has lit her vagina on fire. Can you believe it, folks?
Yes. Grab a log on the fire because that pussy is burning tonight. We can smell it too. That's what people are paying money for, though. Gwyneth Paltrow's vagina candle. Pretty cool.
Have you ordered one of these, LowRes?
No, I think that's probably going to be on, what's the next holiday? MLK Day? I'll probably gift that to myself.
Yeah. You could probably get a pre-order in now.
Yeah.
Is this part of her Goop catalog? I know we've talked about Goop.
I got some Goop for Gwyneth Paltrow, if you know what I mean.
God. I don't know what you mean.
Have you guys seen... has that Netflix documentary come out yet? Do you guys know the Goop documentary?
Well, I know what you're talking about. I haven't seen it. I was very confused why they put her in a vagina for the cover art on Netflix and the name was Goop. I was very disturbed by that. But this actually makes sense. There's an actual candle scented after her natural scent. Yes?
Yeah.
It's amazing. A game changer.
I mean, why don't you just go to a fish market? You know?
Yeah. Jimmy John's free smells.
Well, so first of all, the candles sold out. So much like Belle Delphine's bathwater, this has gone the way of the dinosaur.
Wait, again, what happened to the dinosaurs? Just kidding. So what's up with this? This does feel like the natural extension of the, like you said, the gamer girl bathwater. This is like celeb lady pussy wax.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she's like 50. You know, wait, is Meryl Streep next? Who's buying the? She must have only printed like 6 of these candles. I'm thinking.
Gwyneth Paltrow does not look a day over 30, and I would buy 12 of her candles. Thank you.
Excuse me. Yeah.
He likes to smell.
I would, that box that her head was in the movie Seven, I would buy 6 of those boxes.
Didn't finish it, just kidding.
Spoilers. Yeah, I mean, she's known for doing these types of things. She had the jade eggs that people were stuffing into their vaginas that were causing infections and shit like that. They have some sort of
this world.
She sells air or something. Like you breathe in a can of air. That's a thing. I don't know.
Sure.
There's some other stuff. A bunch of stuff that's like gonna get someone killed one day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Folks, don't eat the candles. Or do. I don't know. Are the candles edible?
I don't think so, no.
Okay. For the guys out there who want to eat pussy and smell good, get a candle.
I will give her credit for the great entrepreneurship of all these very unique products. For her to have such success, she's doing something right.
I mean, yeah,
she's just a rich woman with a pyramid scheme.
Yeah. She's just the girl you haven't seen since high school on Facebook who's posting about smoothies and healthy
Herbalife.
Yeah, on Facebook, you know?
She's cornered the market.
Yeah. She's just rich enough to get a Netflix documentary out of it.
That's a good point. I do have a lot of girls I went to high school with who wound up pregnant around like 19 to 22, and they sell all kinds of makeup that nobody has heard of in giant text posts that you can tell are copy pasted.
Yep.
I like to put Gwyneth Paltrow in that category. It makes me feel a little bit better for them.
That's basically it. Or you know what's like the worst is the fucking essential oil shit. Like this one cures. If you have a cough, if you have a cold, this one will cure it. This is eucalyptus essential oil. It's just oil. What do you want me to do with it?
Yeah. Called snake oil. It's bullshit.
Yeah.
So we gotta punish this candle maker. Got her ass. So yeah, I think she should just, if she wants to do this for a living, she's got to be on Facebook. She should be in Facebook jail. You get banned from Facebook, you go on Facebook jail. So she's posting too much about her vagina candle.
Pyramid scheme.
Yeah. She ends up in Facebook jail.
I don't know. I think a straight up decapitation, since we were talking about Seven, I think that would be pretty good.
Okay, yeah, I like that better, actually.
Yeah, that is way better. That's a very,
All right, let's not rub it in.
No, it's. I'm just saying, his was way better than yours.
I agree with you. I agree. It's a candle.
I just wanted to reiterate that.
Yes, it was very good.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a box with a head inside and a bunch of candles and other goop bullshit.
Turn her head into a candle.
Yeah.
Why not?
Might as well make the most of it.
It's It's a very Texas Chainsaw Massacre suggestion of you there.
Speaking of
The Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Speaking of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre,
you want to talk about a fucked up family? Have you guys seen the royal family lately?
oh, nice. I was worried how you were going to save that. I was like, I got nothing.
Hey, I can segue with the best of them. Okay.
True. So yeah, the royal family. What's next? Another royal baby? No. What's happening?
No.
I'm ignorant.
Meghan Markle and her husband, whatever his name is, have left the royal family.
Oh.
LowRes, have you followed the royal family at all? Are you familiar with...
My entire life, I have followed the royal family. I love her and her husband. I think his name's like Charlie.
Yeah.
He's got the red hair and the freckles.
Yeah,
he's very
Charlie,
cute.
yeah. Chuck.
Kind of looks like that one bad guy from the new Star Wars, your favorite movie of the year. What's his name? He's an Ex Machina. I don't know. I'm happy for them. I think they're... What are they doing now? They're moving to America. They're going like the Obama documentary route. They're getting into Hollywood or something. I don't know.
More fucking power to them. I mean, regardless of whatever the fuck they do, like they're fucking privileged, like billionaire, fucking, literal royalty.
So can you leave the royal family? Is that an option? Can you just do that?
Yeah, you change your last name. No, it's something to do with like the duties of like the events that they don't hold like political power so much, but I think that they hold sort of like social power of the monarchy that derives its power from the parliament or whatever the fuck.
Whatever the fuck.
But
You're right.
so I think that they're just like, hey, we're not gonna all these like galas that you people do, you fucking rich people, these galas you do, we're not doing them anymore. We're done. Which is like Prince Chuck or whatever his name is. Like he's not going to be the king anytime soon anyway. Like his older brother's going to get it once the queen dies, and like it doesn't matter. Like none of this matters.
Now, by galas, are you referring to the eyes wide shut style parties that they surely throw at Buckingham Palace?
Yeah, basically. It's like, okay, we're not going to show up to those wild fuck fests anymore.
Yeah. All the underage children that are running around scantily clad
like
as Prince Andrew just sinks his teeth into them.
These parties aren't fun since Jeffries died.
What kind of accent is that?
I don't know. I don't fucking know, man.
It was like Caribbean.
These parties aren't fun no more, man.
I miss Epstein, man.
Where is Jeffrey?
The life of the party, man. Anyway.
He's supposed to bring the girls. Fuck.
Is there anything to say about this bullshit?
Yeah, no, there's a lot to say about it because this has offended and upset a lot of people. And I'm not talking about like for Christmas I visited my sister. In my sister's house she has mugs that have the royal wedding like emblemized on the mugs. It's offended. She probably doesn't give a shit about this. You know who gives a shit about this? Like alt-right Twitter.
What?
Because they're like, oh well, she's a gold digger, and look at these pictures where he's happy. Now look at these pictures where he's with her and he's not smiling. And she's married him, and she forced him to quit his own family. So it's a big controversy.
That kind of reminds me of like, remember when Trump met the Pope? Yeah, and we saw all those pictures of the Pope looking miserable, just very sad all the time. Mm-hmm. That sounds a lot like that to me.
He just looks like that. He looks like that fucking droopy looking dog from the Hanna-Barbera cartoons.
Yeah, Droopy.
Yeah.
Droopy, yeah. He just looks like that. He smacks women around every now and then.
Oh, bother.
I like to imagine Droopy as a domestic abuser.
Behind closed doors, sure. Droopy and his son Dribble, I believe.
Oh, I don't know anything about Dribble. You're talking nonsense now. But that reminds me.
Baby talk, yeah.
Baby talk. That makes me think of, like a fat tub of lard, like Lizzo. See, I'm trying to segue for you guys now.
Oh, thank you.
That is a good segue.
But real quick, the punishment.
We could have segued and then punished, but no, go ahead, punish.
God
what?
damn
No,
it.
go ahead.
God damn it.
No, you go.
Can you spin the wheel?
Yeah, I can spin the wheel.
Stupid format we're chained to.
I hope it's not potpourri.
It's Clockwork Orange. It almost
Orange.
hit potpourri.
So these people who are so upset by this have to watch and follow nothing but royal family coverage.
That's actually really good because the only people upset by him getting emasculated by his wife forcing him to leave his family are the people that like don't give a shit about anything having to do with the royal family at all anyway.
So learn.
Yeah.
You're going to learn.
You're going to be glued to that TV. You're going to start talking like one of them.
And Lizzo. What were you saying about Lizzo?
Lizzo. She's a great musician.
And she's in the news.
She is in the news. That's what I hear. What's going on with Lizzo?
She's been in the news for like the past two months, and I hate it, is what's been going on.
I heard that Jillian Michaels is the biggest loser. She's like punching Lizzo's fat rolls or something. I don't know. Something's
as a workout method.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Well, so I think the Lizzo drama started when... Did we talk about this? She was at like a NBA game, and she was... One of her songs came on, and she was dancing to the song, and it turned out that like she was wearing like... She just wore like a thong to the NBA game, which is disgusting. Hold on one second. Which it's disgusting, and people were like, well, that's gross to wear a thong to an NBA game.
It's about respect, you know?
And people were like, well,
game.
you wouldn't say that if she was skinny. And it's like, well, it's still gross to wear a thong to a basket. Like, don't wear
It's very disrespectful.
Outdoors. Yeah. Wear it in your home.
Disrespectful to the basketball itself, to the players, and most of all, the viewers at home.
So that's what started the controversy surrounding Lizzo. After this controversy, a couple of weeks later, she was twerking at a Burger King. And this was a thing that happened that there was like a security camera footage of. She was twerking at Burger King, like in front of the register, like her ass and her thong just facing the food as she's twerking. And it's on a security camera. She uploads it. People are like, hey, this is...
Wait, how did she get the footage?
She was twerking on the hater. She took the footage.
What is, that is... Oh, wait.
Or someone took the footage for her.
You said it was on a security camera?
Well, she pointed the camera at the security camera.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't, you know how there's like the monitor that's there and you can see people that are going in and out. Like, So that happened, and she's twerking on the haters. And so Jillian Michaels, fitness enthusiast, as LowRes pointed out, is like, why are we celebrating a fat person? Which is like, okay, yeah.
We do it every year, Christmas.
It's pretty valid.
Yeah.
Problem solved.
It's just like...
At least Santa gives back, though. I mean, what Lizzo is really just offering what? A disturbance at a basketball game? I'm trying to take my kids to see the Harlem Globetrotters, and I have to see a 300-pound woman in a G-string? I don't think so.
Yeah, probably like 354. But as Jillian Michaels points out, she's like, yeah, no, being fat is like it's not good for you. It's bad for you. It makes you die faster. and people are like, well, that's like fat phobic. And she's like,
they set her up too. Did you see the clip of this? Because I saw the clip of this by accident. I was just scrolling through Twitter, and she was on this BuzzFeed, I think, program called AM to PM. I don't know, some stupid title.
AM to DM.
AM to DM. Thank you. And the host, who looks like your typical like Brooklyn journalist, Adderall addict, goes, isn't it great? She's asking Jillian Michaels, a coach on The Biggest Loser, who used to be fat, I'm pretty sure. She goes, isn't it great that we have these types of bodies out and about to celebrate. And what do you think she's going to say? You know, it's all very, I think it was conceived in advance, personally. I think it's a big conspiracy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the way that you frame questions like that is like, well, yeah, what do you think the answer is going to be? Like, yeah, the answer is, should it be celebrated? No. And I think that's what she said, right?
Don't you think this big meatball-shaped woman should be celebrated? Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should get the day off school.
Day off school so LowRes can finally buy himself that vagina-scented candle from Gwyneth Paltrow that he always wanted.
Get in line.
Yeah.
Get in line.
That'd be fantastic.
Get in line the night before so that you can get it opening morning.
Camp out like it's a Wii in 2005.
Frick. Yeah, so I don't know. I just don't care about the whole fat shaming debate thing. Like, yeah, don't be a dick to people, but also like, yeah, no, it's not good for you to be 400 pounds.
I think the most annoying part about this is she waits for her song to come on and starts dancing to it. That's like okay, bear with me here. That's like if someone put on an episode of freaking Thought Cops, and then I'm fucking quiet all night until the episode, and then I just start laughing at my own jokes, my own comments.
Right.
Mm.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a good look. Maybe I should start doing that. That's what people want to see.
Are you going to be wearing a thong?
Maybe I want to start being real disrespectful and wear a thong to the basketball game. Who knows? New year, new me.
What I'm wondering is, where were all these people when Val Kilmer was being ridiculed for his size? Everybody was like, oh, he was Batman. He looked great back in 1995. And now he's just like, he's got a big bloated face. I think cancer straightened him out, though. He's got a very hot bod at the moment because of chemotherapy. The chemotherapy diet's very effective. But back in like 2015, oh man, Val Kilmer was looking exactly like Lizzo.
Yeah, I feel like the conversation's like, I hate to use that phrase. The conversation has changed, but in a way it has. Like, people back then, you probably could have got away. You probably could have got away with a lot more in 2015 for that kind of thing as you would in 2020. I don't know.
It's a new decade. It's a new me. And you know, he's a man, so you know, he
can take it.
We can shit on him. You know, he's got cancer. Ha ha ha! You have cancer, Val Kilmer. Unlike Lizzo, who's a real hero.
Yeah,
she's out there twerking in a thong in a professional sports game.
They are professionals,
Val Kilmer. You're not even Batman anymore.
Yeah,
you're not a hero.
Okay, I got a punishment.
Yeah,
cast her as Catwoman in the new Batman reboot. See how that goes over.
See if it's worse than the 2003 Catwoman.
And we all just kind of have to, and no one can say anything about how it's unusual or strange that Lizzo is playing Catwoman. We just have to go, okay, yeah, whatever.
That would be awesome. I actually, like, I'm picturing it, and it seems like a great movie.
Every other casting choice seems normal except for that one. And you're not allowed to point out how it's strange. Like, the Joker's not overweight, you know?
Yeah.
He just epic as usual.
Just like the idea of, like, someone her size, like, scaling a building, and they just, like, green screen.
It's clearly that she's horizontal to the ground, and they had to, like, flip the scenery to move underneath her. Like,
I want to see this so bad.
This would be a great addition to Todd Phillips' like dark universe of DC Comics. I would be in line for that.
It'd be great.
All right, let's talk about Key to the City, the Key to Neo Chicago. Something nice, something cool, something positive we saw this week that caught our eye. This week, my Key to the City goes to the Twitter account @BadGamingTakes. There's a lot of really funny stuff on there. A good example of one of the posts on the account Bad Gaming Takes is they screenshot a lot of really embarrassing or downright strange opinions on all things video games. This one was a response to someone that says, also, why do they have a Fire Emblem Three Houses avatar and a Promare username when Fire Emblem romanticizes violence and Promare contains a problematic height gap, in parentheses, pedophilia?
Ah.
So apparently if you're dating someone who is not the same height as you, that's pedophilia.
Yeah, basically.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's at Bad Gaming Takes. LowRes, did you have a key to the city of your own?
Now, this can be anything that has had a positive effect on me this week. Okay, all right. So I wanted to kind of give a shout out to a guy I buy bootleg DVDs off of and Blu-rays off of, but I don't want to blow up his spot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shout out. I think they might be defunct now, unfortunately. But I met this very funny comedian recently, Ashton Tate, and he was part of a collective known as Fun Church for a period of time. Are you guys familiar with the Fun Church?
That sounds familiar.
I'm not, but go on.
Okay, so I guess they got Noah Monk of Sad World and iCarly fame involved in the mix, and that's probably what they're most known for. But there's this excellent unscripted, I don't know if I would call it a sketch. I guess I would call it a sketch, but they just go into actual emergency rooms, and one of them will pretend to be a doctor and deliver news over a crowd about a fictional patient of theirs, like, you know, your wife, and then da-da-da-da-da. So I have this link to a video that I would like to plug for them, because it's really just, it's so hilarious to me.
Yeah.
It's called Fun Church Doctors, and I'll just put that in the chat right there.
We could probably play a quick clip of it.
How long is it?
If you like. It's pretty short. They have like 3 segments to it, but it's definitely worth watching. I mean, it's not going to work as well in audio formats, but yeah, I mean, I think the idea will come across.
Yeah, let's skip playing it, but we can just toss it in the website description.
Yeah.
Toss the
that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Cool. Grant, what's your key to the city?
My key to the city this week, I'm going to go full libcuck, is my key to the city this week goes to Bernie Sanders, who effectively destroyed the political career of Liz Warren, fucking snake in the grass bitch who fucking lied on national television and then blamed an old man for it. An old man that looks like he never lied about. If the police were like, "Are you smoking pot?" he'd be like, "Yes."
Yeah.
Snake.
Fucking bitch, how dare she?
Yeah.
Wait a minute, you're bad-mouthing America's grandma that way?
Fuck. More like America's powwow leader.
I was going to say abuela. I'm like, wait, no, she's not.
Different language. But
she's barely something else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, key to the city goes to Bernie, who very effectively fended off the attacks of both her and CNN, who tried to set him up. They were like, "Hey, hey Bernie, did you say a woman couldn't be president?" And he's like, "No." And they were like, "Well, are you sure?" And he's like, "Yes, I'm sure. I did not say that." And then they were like, "Hey, Elizabeth Warren, how'd you feel when he said that?"
Yeah, you gotta laugh,
and
folks.
He came out on top.
Yeah.
So key to the city goes to Bernie.
And before we get to our final segment of the show, I want to read off this week's Thought Cop's word of the week, which is power word.
You can't have the word in the word when you're describing the definition of the word.
I just did. So power word is your IRL name, your Christian name, your birth name, or whatever is on your driver's license. It's the name that you don't use. It's whatever LowRes goes by when he's not posting, for example.
Right.
You know, it's your power word. It's your
true name.
Your true name. So that is called a power word, apparently, according to our dear friend Zwick.
Thanks, Zwick.
So before we get to the voicemails, you can leave your own at 312-788-7361 or send an audio file to thoughtcopspodcast@gmail.com. But LowRes, plug everything you got, man. All the social media, all the YouTube, all the podcast, everything, man.
So I kind of fucked up my YouTube way back in the day. You know, everybody's got the cool YouTube URL, youtube.com/Wang or whatever. Yeah. See, I tried to put like special characters in my URL. So now I don't have a special URL at all. I can't do a custom one. It's just a bunch of generic words. So just search LowRes Wünderbred and spell that to the best of your ability if you'd like to do that. Alternatively, I have a website, and this website is banned on Facebook and Instagram. They think I'm like InfoWars or something for some reason.
Weird.
It's very peculiar. But you can go to lowres.live, and I have a back catalog of essentially all the videos that I've put out publicly, a lot of writing as far as film reviews and what have you, comedy vids galore. And then I have, I'm not even going to promote my Twitter, but it's the same URL. Facebook.com/LowResWB and Twitter.com/LowResWB if you would like to follow me on there.
Cool.
And then, of course, movies.
Oh, right. Yes. And movies, my podcast is officially back. We're doing weekly shows. I have a special on the Academy Award nominations coming out this coming Tuesday where we kind of break down all of the major categories and offer predictions and just discuss whether or not, these kinds of things are even relevant anymore because nobody's really watching them. The Golden Globes were pretty decent. Ricky Gervais was a good host, but obviously the Academy's not looking to go in that direction. So who knows if anybody will even tune into that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be out probably around the time this episode comes out. So check it out. Check out the app.
Excellent.
Hello, this is for the Thinking Police, Grant and Kevin. I've just gotten done watching a profoundly angry young man, incredible film. I can't wait to see Kevin in his soon-to-be starring, leading, shining bright role. You're both very good guys. You're very talented at what you do, and I love you both dearly. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, wow, thank
by
you.
the way. Call me back.
Call him back?
Call him back. I didn't hear what he said his name was.
Is that how that works? We just call people back now?
Well, he blocked his phone number, so we can't call him back anyway.
This came from an unknown number, which is probably smart. So yeah, I guess that's good. That's a good tip. If you're scared to leave your phone number with us, you could just do call or block, or like I said, send an audio file.
Yeah.
Either way. Guess we'll never find out who that was. But hey, thank you for the kind words. And look forward to that new hot content coming out from Be Nice to Me Productions, which we should be in.
Hey, fuckhole cop. You know who's fucking awful? Netflix. Because they won't simulcast anime. Like, what the hell, man? Stop licensing shit if you're not going to simulcast. Weeaboos don't they don't want to binge watch something that's been airing in Japan. They want to be current and talk with their Japanese brethren about which characters they want to have sex with. This happened with High Score Girl. This happened with Beastars, which finished airing like weeks ago, and then they just are like, wow, guess what's coming to Netflix in March? It's like, bitch, I've already pirated that. Like, that's old news. Like, get on Dorohedoro, fucking release at the same time as America, because I don't want to go on my anime pirating websites and see it's been fucking translated in French. Ew, the worst, gayest language ever, before English, because Netflix is too stupid to just simulcast. Seriously. Don't fucking make us wait for some shitty dub in 20 languages no one's gonna fucking watch. You just want to watch it in Japanese with subtitles. Fucking idiots.
I just love
That's all I'm asking. Simulcast. I'm not going to even watch it dead. It's just simulcast your shit.
Yeah, we got you.
I just love
Is that lady drunk?
Nope. That's how she sounds.
Grant's
Also
reaction
true.
was just, Which, what else can you say?
LowRes, did you understand any part of that? Does that make sense?
Something about Dragon Ball Z or I don't know. I guess I've heard the Dragon Ball Super is not very good. That's what I got from that.
Fair enough.
I haven't seen it. Have you seen it?
I mean, she said it herself. She didn't like Dragon Ball Super. You heard the voicemail.
I didn't hear the voicemail. No, I'm sorry.
It doesn't really.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah. Well, that's all we got this week. If you want to leave your own, again, you can do that at 312-788-7361 or send us an audio file at thoughtcopspodcast@gmail.com. patreon.com. If you feel like supporting the show, throw us a few bucks. It really helps us out a lot. You can do that at patreon.com/thoughtcops.
Get some
LowRes.
extra content.
Yeah, I got more content for you. LowRes, thanks so much for coming on the show, man.
Yeah, thank you.
No, thank you for inviting me on. By the way, is this episode 150?
Yeah, this is 150.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
Oh man, what a powerful number! I'm honored to be on for number 150. That's wonderful. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Yeah, we appreciate you coming on.
Yeah.
Anytime.
And everybody, thanks for listening. We'll catch you soon. Yeah, good note to end on. See you soon. Bye.
No, keep going.
I'm good.
No.